In September 2011, the CEO of one of the world's fastest-growing companies sends an email to 23 million customers. The email announces a plan to split the company in two. One service for streaming. A separate, oddly named service for DVDs by mail. Within days, the internet erupts in anger. Within weeks, the company's stock has fallen by more than half. Most CEOs facing this kind of public backlash would defend their decision or wait quietly for the anger to fade. This one did neither. Welcome back to Gentle Wisdom, where you learn English while becoming a better version of yourself. One story, one step at a time. Today, we explore the story of Reed Hastings, the founder of Netflix. We look at the disastrous decision that nearly unraveled everything he had built. And what he did next, which mattered even more. By the end of this video, you will understand why learning from failure openly can matter more than the failure itself. Let's begin. Chapter 1: A Confident Decision. By 2011, Netflix had grown enormously. It moved from a DVD by mail company into a streaming service used by tens of millions of people worldwide. Reed Hastings believed streaming was the clear future. DVDs, he thought, were a shrinking business that increasingly distracted from what mattered most. So Hastings made a bold decision. He would separate the two businesses entirely. Streaming would remain under the Netflix name. The DVD by mail service would become its own company, under an unusual new name, Quickster. Hastings believed this separation would let each business grow more efficiently, without one distracting from the other. From inside the company, the logic seemed clear and reasonable. Chapter 2: The Backlash. The announcement did not go as planned. Customers simply wanted to continue enjoying both DVDs and streaming through one simple account. Suddenly, they faced two separate websites, two separate logins, and two separate bills. A price increase had already been announced only months earlier. To many loyal customers, the news felt like a company that had stopped listening to them entirely. Social media filled quickly with frustration. Within 23 days, Netflix had lost hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Its stock price had fallen dramatically. What had seemed internally like a logical business decision felt to customers like a betrayal. Learn from failure or be destroyed by it. Chapter 3: Admitting the Mistake. Rather than defending the decision or waiting for the backlash to fade, Hastings did something unusual for a CEO under pressure. He reversed course completely and quickly. In a public statement, Hastings admitted that he had, in his own words, slid into arrogance based on past success. He cancelled the Quickster plan entirely. The streaming and DVD services stayed combined under one Netflix account, exactly as customers had wanted. This reversal, after just over 3 weeks, became one of the fastest strategic corrections in modern business history. Few executives are willing to reverse a public decision so quickly and so completely. But the more interesting part of this story happened afterward, inside the company itself. Chapter 4: Building a Culture That Catches Mistakes Early. As Hastings reflected on what had gone wrong, he discovered something troubling. Many senior employees inside Netflix had privately doubted the Quickster plan from the very beginning. One manager later admitted thinking the idea would fail, but stayed quiet, assuming Hastings was, as usual, right. Someone from the finance team knew the numbers looked questionable, but said nothing, assuming everyone else had already agreed. Nobody had felt comfortable enough to challenge him directly, even when they privately believed he was making a serious mistake. Hastings realized his own track record of good decisions had quietly made people afraid to disagree with him. This realization changed how Hastings led the company. He began deliberately building a culture where disagreement was expected and actively encouraged, rather than quietly avoided out of respect or fear. He described this practice as farming for dissent. It meant deliberately asking for honest, critical feedback on important decisions before they were finalized, not after they had already failed publicly. Learn from failure or be destroyed by it. Chapter 5: What this means for you. Hastings has said that the Quickster failure became one of the most valuable lessons in Netflix's history. In short, the company chose to examine it honestly, rather than quietly move past it. Most people, after a public failure, want only to forget it happened. Hastings did something different. He studied it closely. He asked why nobody had spoken up. He built new habits specifically designed to prevent the same silence from happening again. Years later, he still references Quickster as a valuable failure. Think about a mistake in your own life, something you might normally prefer to forget rather than examine closely. What if instead you asked what allowed it to happen? What if you built one small habit to catch something similar earlier next time? This shift, from hiding a mistake to studying it, often separates people who keep repeating errors from those who genuinely grow. You do not need a public failure watched by millions to apply this lesson. You only need the willingness to look honestly at what went wrong, rather than looking away from it. Every mistake examined honestly teaches something failure alone cannot. Every uncomfortable question asked in advance can prevent a larger failure later. Every willingness to admit I was wrong builds more trust than pretending otherwise. So today, think about one place in your life. Where might honest feedback sought earlier help you catch a mistake before it grows larger? Learn from failure or be destroyed by it. You are becoming. Something has shifted in you today. The person who finishes this video is not quite the same as the one who started it. That shift is real. And it is yours to keep. If you enjoyed today's story, please like and subscribe. A new story arrives every day. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments too. Every choice shapes your life. Small habits, big results. And keep becoming. Study Corner, today's English notes. Welcome to the Study Corner. Let's review 3 useful words from today's story. The first word is arrogance. In the story we heard he had, in his own words, slid into arrogance based on past success. Arrogance means an unpleasant feeling of being more important or capable than others. For example, success can sometimes lead to arrogance if we are not careful. The next word is dissent. In the story we heard, he described this practice as farming for dissent. Dissent means disagreement, especially with an official decision or opinion. For example, healthy teams welcome dissent instead of avoiding it. The third word is reversal. In the story we heard, this reversal, after just over 3 weeks, became one of the fastest strategic corrections in modern business history. A reversal means a complete change to the opposite decision or direction. For example, the quick reversal helped restore customer trust. What was the most useful thing you learned today? Or is there anything you want to know more about? Share your thoughts in the comments. Small steps. Every day. You are doing well. See you tomorrow.